Hello, students. I hope you all are well. So, today we'll start the first chapter of your science book, that is crop production and management. And in this chapter, we'll learn about cultivation of crops, several activities undertaken by farmers in crop production, and its management. So, let's start. Basic practices of crop production. Cultivation of crops involves several activities undertaken by farmers over a period of time. So, they do many activities to get good crop. What are these activities called? These activities are called agricultural practices. And these practices are preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizer, irrigation, protecting from weeds, harvesting, and storage. And in this chapter, we'll learn about all these practices in detail. So let's start with the preparation of soil. The preparation of soil is the first step before growing a crop. One of the most important tasks in agriculture is to turn the soil and then loosen it. Now this farmer is losing this soil. This allows the root to penetrate deep into the soil. The loosened soil then help in the growth of earthworms and microbes present in the soil. These organisms are friend of farmer since they further turn and loosen the soil and add humus to it. The process of loosening and turning of the soil is called tilling or plowing. Okay, so this process is called tilling or plowing. Plow are made of wood or iron. Before plowing, soil needs watering. The plow field may have big pieces of crumbs which have to be broken with a plank. The field is leveled like this for sowing as well as for irrigation purposes. Agricultural implements. Before sowing the seeds, it is necessary to break the soil to the size of grains to get better yield. This is done with the help of various tools. The main tools used for this purpose are plow, hoe, and cultivator. We all are familiar with all these tools. Plow. This is being used since ancient times for tilling the soil, adding fertilizer to the crop, removing the weeds, scraping of soil, and etc. We use it at our home also. This implement was earlier made of wood and has now been replaced by iron. It is drawn by a pair of bulls or other animals such as horses and camels. Hoe. It is a simple tool which is used for removing weeds or loosening the soil. It has a long rod of wood or iron. A strong, broad, and bent plate of iron is fixed to one of its ends and it works like a blade. Animals pull it. Cultivator. A tractor-driven cultivator does nowadays plowing. The use of cultivator saves labor as well as the time. Sowing. Sowing is the most important part of crop production. Before sowing, good quality seeds are selected. Farmers prefer to use seeds which give a high yield. So how will you do that? Now here is the activity for finding damaged and good seeds. For this, take a beaker and fill half of it with water. Now put a handful of gram seeds and stir it well. Now wait for some time. What will happen? You will see some of the seeds start floating on the water. Damaged seeds become hollow and float. Good seeds settle down like this, as you can see here in this picture. This is a good method for separating good and healthy seeds from the damaged ones. Before sowing, let us study about the tool used for sowing seeds. Traditional tools. The tool used traditionally for sowing seed is shaped like a funnel like this. The seeds are filled into the funnel and they pass down through 2 or 3 pipes having sharp ends. These ends pierce into the soil and place seeds there. Nowadays, the seed drill is used for sowing with the help of tractors. This tool sows the seeds uniformly at proper distance like this and proper depth. Nowadays, we are using like this. It ensures that the soil covers seeds after sowing. This prevents damage caused by birds. Sowing by using a seed drill saves time and labor. An appropriate distance between the seeds is important to avoid overcrowding of plants. They are not overcrowded. This allows plants to get sufficient sunlight, nutrients, and water from soil. Adding manure and fertilizers. The substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plants are called manure and fertilizers. This helps us to get good crop. Manure is an organic substance obtained from the decomposition of plant or animal waste. Fertilizers are chemical substances which are rich in particular nutrients. Fertilizers are produced in factories. Some of the fertilizers are urea, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, NPK, that is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, and many other fertilizers are there. So now we'll have the difference between manure and fertilizer. A fertilizer is an inorganic salt. Manure is a natural substance obtained by the decomposition of cattle dung, human waste and plant residues. A fertilizer is prepared in factories. Manure can be prepared in field also. A fertilizer does not provide any humus to the soil. Manure provide a lot of humus to the soil. Fertilizers are very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Manure is relatively less rich in plant nutrients. Advantages of manure. An organic manure is considered to be better than a fertilizer. Why? This is because it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil. It makes the soil porous, due to which exchange of gases become easy. It increases the number of friendly microbes. It improves the texture of the soil. Irrigation. A living being needs water to live. Similarly, water is important for the proper growth and development of flowers, fruits, and seeds of plants. The plant's roots absorb water. Along with water, mineral and fertilizers are also absorbed. Plants contain 90% of water. Water is essential because germination of seeds does not take place under dry conditions. Nutrients dissolved in water get transported to each part of the plant. To maintain the moisture of the soil or for healthy crop growth, fields have to be watered regularly. The supply of water to a crop at different interval is called irrigation. Now this farmer is irrigating his fields and this process is called irrigation. The time and frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop, soil to soil and season to season. Sources of irrigation. The sources of irrigation are wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dam and canals. So these are the sources of irrigation. Traditional method of irrigation. The water available in wells, lakes and canals is lifted up by different methods in different regions for taking it to the fields. Cattle or human labor is used in these methods, so they are cheaper but less efficient. The various traditional ways are moat, that is pulley system, chain pump, dekli, rohut, that is lever system. So these are the traditional system of irrigation. Now we will see the modern system. Pump is commonly used for lifting water. Diesel, biogas, electricity and solar energy are used to run these pumps. Modern methods of irrigation. Modern method of irrigation help us to use water economically. The main methods used are as follows. Sprinkler system. This system is more useful on an uneven land where sufficient water is not available. Perpendicular pipes having rotating nozzles on top are joined to the main pipeline at regular intervals. When water is allowed to flow through the main pipe under pressure with the help of a pump, it escapes from the rotating nozzles. It gets sprinkled on the crop as if it is raining. A sprinkler is very useful where there is no water in sandy soil. Drip system. In this system, the water falls drop by drop just at the position of the plant. It is the best technique for watering fruits, plants, gardens, and trees. The system provides water directly at the root. Water is not wasted at all. It is a boon in regions where availability of water is very poor. Protection from weeds. So here you can see in wheat field there are many unwanted plants. So what are these unwanted plants? In a field, many other undesirable plants may grow naturally along with the crop. These undesirable plants are called weeds. The removal of weed is called weeding. So this farmer is removing the weeds from his field. Tilling before sowing of crop help in uprooting and killing weeds. The best time for the removal of weeds is before they produce flowers and seeds. This is done with the help of a khurpi like he is doing. A seed drill is used to uproot weeds. Using certain chemicals called weedicide also help to control weeds. These are sprayed in the fields to kill weeds. They do not damage the crops. Spraying of weedicide may affect the health of farmers. So they should cover their nose and mouth with a piece of cloth during spraying of these chemicals because these chemicals are not good for their health. Harvesting. The cutting of crop after it is matured is called harvesting. In harvesting, crops are pulled out or cut close to the ground. It is usually take 3 to 4 months for a cereal crop to mature. Harvesting is either done manually by a sickle or by a machine called harvester. After harvesting the grain, seeds needs to be separated from the chaff. This process is called threshing. This is carried out with the help of a machine called combine, which is in fact a combined harvester and a thresher. You can see here. On a small holding of land, do the separation of grain and chaff by winnowing. Information. Harvest festivals. After 3 or 4 months of hard work, there comes the day of the harvest, and these farmers, as you can see, are very happy. The sight of golden fields of standing crops laden with grains fill the heart of farmers with joy and a sense of well-being. Their efforts have borne fruit, and it is time for them to relax and enjoy a little. This period of harvest is thus a great joy and happiness in all parts of India. Men and women celebrate it with great enthusiasm. Pongal, Baisakhi, Holi, Diwali are special festival associated with these harvest season. We all celebrate these festivals. Now storage. Storage of food grains is important task. If the crop grains are to be kept for longer time, they should be kept safe from moisture, insects, rats and microorganisms. The fresh crop has more moisture. If freshly harvested grains are stored without drying, they may get spoiled or attacked by organisms, losing their germination capacity. Hence, before storing them, the grains are properly dried in the sun to reduce the moisture in them. This prevents the attack by insects, pests, bacteria and fungi. Farmers store grains in jute bags or metallic bins. However, large-scale storage of grains is done in silos and granaries to protect them from pests like rats and insects. Dried neem leaves are used for storing food grains at home. We use this method. Now summary. It is necessary to prepare soil by tilling and leveling. Plow and levelers are used for this purpose. Sowing of seeds at appropriate depth and distances gives good yield. Good variety of seeds is sown after selection of healthy seeds. Seed drills do sowing. Soil needs replenishment and enrichment through the use of organic manure and fertilizer. Use of chemical fertilizer has increased tremendously with the introduction of new crop varieties. Supply of water to crops at appropriate interval is called irrigation. Plant need water to grow. Weeding involves Removal of unwanted and uncultivated plants called weeds. So unwanted plants are called weeds. Harvesting is the cutting of the mature crop manually or by machine. Separation of the grain is necessary to protect them from pests and microorganisms. Food is also obtained from animals for which animals are reared. This is called animal husbandry. So, students, that is all in this chapter. Now, I hope that you all have understood the chapter. Now, you all go through with your science books and read this chapter line to line by yourself. And if you are having any problem in understanding any concept, then let me know. Till then, keep learning as learning is fun. Thank you.